Hello, guys. Welcome to the Man United Agenda. This is the reaction show to the FA Cup draw against West Ham. We won 3-1, and talking about the game will be myself and Brush. Stay tuned. Take me home, take me home. That's what they're saying in the song. Brush, how you doing, man? I haven't spoken to you since the final. We're League Cup winners. Any thoughts?
Buzzing, bro. Buzzing.
What do you think about the game? Do you think we dominated the game? 2-0 seems like a nice, comfortable scoreline against Newcastle.
You know what? Similar to that game and today, I don't think it was vintage performances. But, you know, we got over the line and we did what we needed to do. Okay. And for me, the next day was the real highlight. It was waking up to that open letter from Ten Hag to all of us. That was beautiful to read. And it just shows you the unity in this team. You got to love it.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, it stepped up again today, game after game. I mean, we can't get bored right now. This is the prime time of the season, and games are coming thick and fast, and we're in good form, most definitely. So West Ham today, we're going to talk about this game. Before we do, just want to say hi to Brush. Hold on. Oh, it's you.
In two places at once.
Subscribe. Yeah, big up, Brush. Thank you so much for that. And big up to Colum as well. Colum, I hear you dyed your hair losing a bet. So Fulham at home, that's the next who we got in the draw next round. Not going to be easy, but no game's easy, really, unless you're in the League Cup. We had quite an easier run in that. HG Game is saying it's now called Eric time, talking about the overtime Fergie style. Viva Garnacho, says Miguel. Miguel, I ain't seen you for ages. Good to see you back, bro. I hope you're doing well. Under Ten Hag, we just don't know how to stay down, says Colin. That's a good one. Long Schlong 53 says Veghorst try claim the goal, but this guy is so shit. Talk about Veghorst. Want to say hi to Ahmed Deck. He said pass to Fred on that little run. And Miguel saying not a vintage performance, but victory is victory. And big up to Stuart Marshall. He was at the game on Sunday. He says, we're Man United. We do what we want. And Fred can't stop scoring. Okay. You can see the feel from there. We're delighted to get through to the next round. It wasn't the best performance. Just starting about the team selection. That's what we're going to start on first. Because the lineup was completely different today, wasn't it, Brush? I mean,
absolutely.
Let's talk about this. The De Gea, right back Dalot. I mean, is he second B team now? I don't know, because Wan-Bissaka's done brilliantly on Sunday. Lindelof and Maguire. Hold the phone. Malacia at left back. Sabitzer and McTominay. Interesting. Anthony on the right. Bruno and Garnacho with Veghorst up front. What are your thoughts on that? Is he underplaying he usually plays the best team. Is he underplaying the FA Cup? And what do you think?
No, not at all. I'll tell you what, I was a bit surprised at the lineup, actually, just because even though we've mentioned the need for rotation and to keep everyone fresh, he's generally tended to keep a settled team. But I think this shows good management, Omondi. I think this shows that he understands as well that players do need a break in that. So I believe that's why there were so many wholesale changes. And you can see as well.
Any shockers for you with the changes, though? Because it was a lot of changes.
A lot of changes, yeah. Because if anything, I expected West Ham to make some changes because obviously they're quite down in the table. So I thought they would prioritise the league. But I thought they went quite strong, to be fair.
And did you gasp when you saw that McTominay was on the pitch? Because he doesn't seem to be playing. He's a bit out of favour.
You know what? No, I am not one of those that hates on Scotty. You know, everyone has a role to play as far as I'm concerned. So all we can do is have faith in them when they're trusted to come on, and you know they can do a job, can't they?
Most certainly. Big up to Miguel. He's saying, Omondi, my man. Yes, Miguel, big up to you, bruv. Emma saying Veghorst knew it was an own goal. He celebrated. If he knew it was an own goal, he would celebrate more. If not, want to say hi to Taboo. Says the first half was shit. Second half, extremely crazy. Yeah, it was a contrast again with doing this like this. And Mr. B is going to need more delivery of broccoli, says Andy Long. And Mr. B's here, so he said, no, I bloody won't. So they're arguing in the comments about broccoli because Fred's cool. So yeah, the lineup. What about now Maguire and Lindelof? This is a partnership that was the mainstay maybe 2 seasons ago. They've obviously gone off the boil. They're not really in favour anymore. But yeah, what do you think about selecting those two? Is that to give them a bit more confidence? And
Yeah, it's literally just about the amount of games we've got coming up, and it's about rotation and keeping everyone fit. Obviously, we've moved on from them. The level up is clear to see in our first choice pairing, but we've got a big game on Sunday, and you got to manage these things.
Yeah.
Regarding those two, Maguire, there was one or two instances that there was a very late challenge. It looked like a UFC move, what he did. So, and he picked up a yellow as well. And then there was a mistake made letting Antonio in. De Gea was brilliant today. Yeah, obviously there's a bit of rust in that, but that comes with a lack of games, doesn't it?
Most certainly. I want to say hi to Andy Long. Everyone give him a wave in the comments. He's cutting Mr. B. I want to say hi especially to Glenn as well, because Glenn's got me my mug with Harry Maguire on it. And Harry Maguire played okay today. Hi, Callula. Everyone give Callula a wave. She's in the comments saying tricky game, but we got there in the end. And she was down in London this weekend for the Wembley game. And she didn't even bother coming calling me or hooking me up. I'm gutted. No, I'm joking. Next time. Casemiro says Emma is not only important for our defense, but he's important for our attack. He's a link midfielder, isn't he? And Cluda said, I think we have too many games. We don't have many choices. This was the better game to test them. Talking about the B team coming in. All right, that's the team lineup. We've gone through that. We're going to get through the show really quickly. Performance-wise, talk to me, Brush, because obviously the first half, we were probing. We were a bit taking our time. How do you think West Ham set up today? Do you think what was their strategy to try and sort of hurt us?
I mean, to be honest, I thought they were going to set out quite defensive and that, but then they probably weren't expecting us to make as many changes as we did. I thought we were very lackluster, and it got to a point where they started to grow in confidence, and I thought that they started to sense blood. And one or two chances that they did get, we got Dave to thank for keeping it level.
Can we talk about that chance to what they had with Antonio running in on goal? I mean, I think it started with Garnacho giving the ball away, and McTominay was trying to support Garnacho, was not expecting him to give the ball away, and suddenly they were able to break. And Paqueta, I think he was brilliant today. Played in Antonio, and Maguire didn't really read it. He was sort of left going one way and then balls going the other way. But what do you think about that move? It's just a bit of breakdown because we were pretty much in control.
Yeah, it's one of those ones, Omondi. I think, the communication builds up over games and games and games, doesn't it? And this is what happens when you make these wholesale changes. The communication and understanding just isn't there.
Yeah, interesting that. What about our chances in the first half? I know we had, I've just watched the game. We did have a good chance in the first half, if I recall. Do you remember it, Brush? I think it was... someone got played in. Weghorst had a chance, I think.
Weggy, in front of goal, he's not the guy. What else can I say? I mean, listen, I can praise him for all the little interlinking play and all the other little clever things that he does, and he does work for the team and does a role. But as a striker for Man United, you need to eat your dinner, man. You need to start getting shots on target. You need to start testing the keeper. You need to start scoring.
Yeah. All these mugs are going around. Guys, if you want a mug, hit us up on the Man United agenda. Glenn Allen James, he's got a mug for Mr. B. He's got my mug as well. They're all in the post right now. It's just £20. And you've got your own Man United agenda logo on it. And you get a player of your choice. Or you get one of our faces on your mug. And who's got the biggest mug? I have with Harry Maguire, because you need space to sort of get his head on there. Is massive, Stuart Marshall as well saying here, Harry Maguire and McTominay have to go in the summer. Sorry, Omondi. They haven't been in favour. I'm not. When I was saying earlier, Brush, they haven't been in favour with the manager. They haven't been getting games. Do you think that's because they're not? The manager doesn't rate them highly enough? Do you think they should be leaving? Because at their age, they need to get first team football now.
Yeah, I think with Maguire, he probably will leave in the summer. Just because, I don't think he is the player that we need going forward, but I do think he's too good to just sit on the bench. I think he can do a job for a Premier League side. And I think he's going to be 30 this month, I think. So, I definitely see him moving on. With McTominay, again, it depends on what kind of offers come in. If there's a decent offer on the table, then it's something to consider. If they're lowballing, then there's no need to get rid, is there? Because, he's homegrown, he makes up numbers. And he's just there to occasionally come on and do a job. I don't know what else we can expect from him, really.
Most certainly. I want to say hi to Rich Sports. Guys, If you're not subscribed to Rich Sports, what are you waiting for? Go and subscribe to Rich Sports, top channel, all about Man United, and we're all one big community. Big up, Rich. Hope you're doing well. You're saying big up, looking forward to Fulham game. Emma's saying here, in the slow-mo, it looked like the ball was out, so we just stopped playing. Didn't see the goal, though. My TV station stopped showing the game. Technical misshapes. So let's talk about that goal. They did, they always say, don't stop running, always wait for the referee to make the call or whatever. But did you think the ball went out? I mean, obviously the players did.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I always prefer our players don't stop, to be honest. We can deal with that afterwards. But when you do that, then, there's no chance really. It gave me flashbacks to a time when we played West Ham in the FA Cup a very long time ago, when it was Paulo Di Canio one-on-one with Barthez, and Barthez was trying to tell him it's offside.
Yeah.
It gave me flashbacks to that.
During the watch-along, I mentioned that. Great minds think alike. It's sort of you've got to play on. Di Canio played on, and they certainly did.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's one of those things that we can iron out in training. Regardless of what you think the situation is, you always just keep going and then deal with it afterwards. You don't want to get shell-shocked like that, because it was something out of nothing. That
sometimes as a defender, when the ball goes over and it's offside, you don't want to have to sprint back just in case. When you read in the line, you know what's offside. You don't.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, Mondi, we know how the officials are and how it all works. So you have to just make sure you do our part.
Andy Long's just backing us up here. He said, told from a young age, play to the whistle. Most certainly. And Miguel's backing up as well. So do you think it's just like an amateur mistake, schoolboy errors by the players? Can they all stop?
Yeah. I think it's a psychological thing as well, especially when you're adamant that it's gone off. I suppose it is easy to just take a breather. But it's something that I would definitely have a word with the players about.
So if we're fit, I mean, is it a bunch of players? Because the guy, Benrahma, or whatever his name is, ended up in the box on his own. And
it was a lovely finish, by the way. I'll take nothing away from that finish.
Yeah. But he had no pressure on him, because usually in those situations, someone would be around him or in and around him, because they stopped. I think Sabitzer, from what I see, I'm going to have to go and review it again. I thought he was the closest guy to him, and he switched off, and they all did, expecting something. So can we point fingers, or are we just going to accept that and move on?
It's one of those. It's done now, isn't it? It's definitely one for the players and the coach to look at going forward, because you do need to eliminate that from the game. But,
just talk about the finish, though. I mean, like you just
said. Yeah, it was a brilliant finish. Brilliant finish. Yeah. Can't take anything away from that. But then, that goal goes in, and it looks like it's going to be one of them days. But yeah, the changes that were made at halftime instantly made an impact. Casemiro coming on was big. We saw the difference in quality. He played a fantastic ball through to Weghorst. And for all the things that we praise Weghorst for, this is where I struggle with him, because he needs to test the keeper from there, man.
So as we saw, it was a one-touch. He came on and instantly played one-touch football into feet and playing into space. And that move, he played a one-touch ball into
such Bruno, a quality ball in from Casemiro.
And then he found himself outside the box, kind of just outside the box, and played in Weghorst. And Weghorst's first touch couldn't get out his feet, and then the defender had time to sort of ship him away from goal, and it didn't go in. But I think a better striker there, being on form with more confidence, could have done a bit more. First touch has to be
most definitely. Listen, it's not like I expect someone to just finish all the time, but you need to be testing the goalkeeper at the very least.
Yeah. Beautiful move. So, like you said, the impact of the substitution. So, McTominay's come off. He's on a yellow card. Casemiro's come on. We want to rest him. We want to wrap him in cotton wool, but no, we needed him. He made a big difference. Don't you think, guys, in the comments? And if you are watching right now, give us a like. For myself and Brush, I hope you enjoyed the game. I mean, we're through, but we have to sort of discuss everything about it in detail as much as we can. So, obviously, Weghorst misses a chance. And West Ham now, they're in a good position, because we were arguing during the watch-along. Do you know, Brush? Was it going straight to penalties? Was there a replay? Was there extra time?
I think they've scrapped the replays now. So I assume it would have gone to extra time.
Okay. So extra time and then
extra time and then pens, which is what we didn't want. Because you could see with the wholesale changes. We did that to keep everyone fit, and especially with who we've got on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. Donovan, how you doing, man? He's saying, even prior to the goal, I thought Garnacho's performance had shown he's improved immensely. He's gone past Sancho in the pecking order. That's a good discussion point, isn't it, about his performance? Because I noticed on TV, they gave him man of the match just as coming off, maybe just for the goal. I'm not sure what you think about Garnacho. We're coming to 10 minutes. All right, so what happened next? So obviously, Weghorst had that chance. There was so much action in the second half. I'm not going to break it all down, but let's talk about the goal, the equalising goal, because
there was one that was offside as well before that, when we thought it was 1-1, but it wasn't, and the replay did show that it was offside.
I think he scored a goal on Sunday in the cup final where he timed his ran from deep.
Yeah,
there's no way he could have charged him with offside, but this time around it was a free kick again. He gets Casemiro's got that in his game. He's got that in his locker. He wins headers. I mean, powered that one away as well, didn't he?
Yeah, like he's so much more than just a DM. It's crazy the amount he gets involved in the attacking third.
Stuart Marshall saying you can see McTominay at Everton or Villa, one of those sort of clubs. Full-Time Sports Network saying on the day we break 400 subs, well done, guys. We see you have made it past 3K. We're not going to celebrate just yet, but if that's the case, we want to appreciate all you guys. Because someone might just say, I'm not going to unsubscribe now because we see that. But if that's the case, big up to the Full-Time Sports Network. Go and subscribe to them, guys, if you don't mind. They're our sister channel. Agree, Casemiro coming on with the Cardinal and the impact, says hello, Gone Wills. Hi, Tyrone Williams. How you doing? So the amount of fans I've seen criticizing Garnacho is ridiculous. He's doing well and needs to be allowed to develop. By getting a start today, that's an improvement. Because he usually comes off the bench, and I prefer him coming off the bench. But starting
same here. Yeah. I like the impact.
Why is that, Bruce? What's your thoughts behind him coming off the bench?
I really like the impact he has off the bench, especially because he is so young and vibrant. And when there's a few tired legs out there, I think that's when he's at his most dangerous. Today, I thought the first half kind of passed him by a little bit. Obviously, now all anyone's going to remember is that lovely finish. And in the second half, as we grew into the game, you could tell he was trying.
Yeah. Something, it's like, look, people have to learn. I think Tyra made a great point about being allowed to develop. And when I say, I mean, we're on the same page, that Brush, when we're talking about coming on, having that impact. I think when you start the game and everyone's ready to go, they've done their research before the game. West Ham are set up. They're usually doubling up on people. They don't really break their lines. It's harder, I think, to sort of make an impact. And today he had to show that he can get back and defend with Ben Johnson, who he's up against today, and also his decision making. You can't just go, make it showtime.
Absolutely.
You got to mix it up. And I think the more game time, starting games like that, he will improve in that respect. And but I still don't think he was man of the match. But I like to see slowly baby steps towards becoming a more complete player.
We have to remember, listen, he's only 18 years old, man. I know there's the Viva Garnacho chance and all of that, the amount of hype. We've got to control that somewhat.
So we've got Emma saying here, I don't think he's improved that much attacking wise, but on the defensive side, where he has been criticised by myself as well, he's been fantastic, especially last couple of games. Like we're saying, he's having Ben Johnson was kind of raiding, and a couple of times I saw Garnacho getting back. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely noticed that today.
Okay, so obviously we're still 1-0 down. There was a disallowed goal from the free kick with Casemiro offside. Didn't time his run so well. And then we go and score eventually. It came from a set piece. Talk to me about that, please.
And this is the one where initially we were quite chuffed. Well, I was quite chuffed initially thinking it was Weggy's goal. He just can't catch a break, can he?
I know. He actually cheered, didn't he?
Yeah. But listen, however they go in at that point, it doesn't matter. That's what I was thinking at the time. And then it was just, can we apply the pressure? Are we going to take this into extra time, or are we going to try and kill it off? It was one of them ones. And then, you could see that the tide was shifted. It just gave everyone a bit of confidence, didn't it, Omondi? I mean, I've noticed in the last couple of games, actually, there's been a bit of a pattern where, for some reason, it's when we go down or we're under pressure that these lot rise up. I would like it if they just did that from the start. It would certainly do wonders for my blood pressure.
It's a squad game, isn't it? I think,
especially
with the B team now. I really wanted them to go out there and perform and not have to make those subs, because then it sort of undermines them. The manager can't really rely on them, because thinking, I gave you an opportunity, you didn't do the business, so I had to bring people on, especially people like McTominay, dragged off half time. He might be thinking, damn, what do I have to do to get to, because there's a balance there. I'm rusty because I'm not getting games, but also when I do get a game, I can't get into it so much, and then I'm getting dragged off. But you've got to be professional. Donny van der Beek was a prime example of that. Always sitting on the bench, always being professional. But sometimes you need to be a bit more ruthless and demand games or show that you're really, really up for it. I don't know. There's a fine balance, isn't there?
Yeah, but you know what? The only thing you can do is get your head down and work hard. The examples have been set. Look at Wan-Bissaka. We didn't hear a word out of him the first half of the season, despite all the criticism. I was definitely one of those who thought he would be off in January, and look what he's doing now.
That's a great example. I mean, watching at Wembley the other day against what's his name? St. Maximin done a beautiful skill on Dalot.
Oh yeah, poor Dalot, man. That first half, he got his shorts pulled down, and then he couldn't do it against Wamby in the second.
Yeah, but that's a great example of how someone can get turned around. We can change our opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, with someone like McTominay, I mean, my expectations are tailored to his ability, so I'm not expecting amazing things from him. I understand who he is as a player. As a you know, you need all kinds of personalities and skill levels as a squad. So you need to understand that and then hone your ability to suit that. So yeah, you just need to keep.
I'm going to read out some couple of comments. I want you to respond to them. Just quick punchy ones on this one. What do you think of this? Just respond to this. Watching Malice here makes me appreciate Luke Shaw's attacking side of the game.
Absolutely. We were crying out for Luke today, going forward and that. But shout out to Malacia though. There's elements to his game that I can appreciate too. The way he gets stuck in.
Nice and punchy. Donovan Williams says here, thank you, Omondi. I think Garnacho showed that he didn't only attack, he passed, he kept the ball up and helped in defence. He will be in the starting lineup next season, in my opinion. We're going to respond to that.
Again, it's a good problem for us to have, isn't it? A club like ours, we want to be fighting on all fronts, and you know, there's going to be a lot of competition, and we need all of our players firing. So yeah, be it him, Garnacho, or Sancho, or even Rashford. I'm here for it.
Okay, I'm just going to read out a few comments, and then you just summarise at the end. We've got Tyrone saying, Emma, spot on. I think we have a lot of people in the fan base who probably can't remember how inconsistent Ronaldo and Rooney were when they first came in.
Listen, the first 3 years of Cristiano Ronaldo, it was step overs and falling over. People forget that though.
And Weghorst forced that own goal though, keeping the pressure on, even if he couldn't get the ball. Just like the winning goal as well with Fred, he done and put a lot of pressure on.
Yeah, the third goal.
Off, says Stuart Marshall. Tyrone Williams saying, I like Scott McTominay, but I'd be surprised if he becomes a regular under Ten Hag, especially if a new owner comes in. Pretty sure Garnacho already had more goals and assist stats than Ronaldo had in his first season. That's from Emma. And if that's the case, that's amazing. I'm not one to look at stats that much, only when he's playing Football Manager. And finally, Emma saying Malacia was probably the best player on the pitch in the first half, if not both. I thought he was great in the second half. And Glenn is saying Weghorst is immense. He may not be scoring, but his presence is massive. So let's talk about the goal. We've obviously got the goal from the corner. It's 1-1 now. We've got the momentum. Let's talk about the decisive goal here and what happened, how Garnacho suddenly gets the ball and scores a beauty. Talk to us.
Listen, absolutely lovely turn, composure, the way he opened up his body, the way he picked out the corner. It was perfect. Perfect.
It was Bruno who was played in down the right and he crossed the ball and Weghorst got shot off, didn't he? And the bend.
Yeah.
And it was a lovely first touch out of his feet to curl it in, wasn't it, from Garnacho?
It was brilliant. It was decisive. It was instinctive. And he just did his thing, man. Happy for him.
Beautiful, beautiful. And this is us, even me, like I mean, we got to get behind the young man, but he is, there was a comment in the watchalong saying he doesn't finish his dinner, basically saying he hasn't got the finished article, maybe, not putting his shots away or whatever. But that was a really good finish, curled in, what you expect from it inside forward with a right foot, no?
Yeah, most definitely.
So Tyrone Williams saying, I was impressed with Weghorst ever since I saw his attitude in the World Cup. He's been fantastic, a loan signing, yeah. He seems to get a lot of game time as well. All right, so we've gone 2-1 up. That's massive. And we're cheering now because we don't really throw away leads, do we, Brush?
No. The game management as well is quite good. Varane came on very late on.
Yeah.
And we close out teams now. So, yeah. And then the referee, I don't know what the referee was playing at. He should have blown the whistle. But that led to the third goal. We played on for a good minute more than we needed to. And shout out Weggy on this one actually, because he played a pivotal part in setting this one up for Fred.
The defender had a poor first touch, but still ran him down and
absolutely. And that's the kind of things you need to do. You need to capitalize on people's mistakes and lack of concentration and that.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's the performance. Let's talk about, before we go to player ratings, difference makers. And just in general, we're talking about our club now. Difference makers. Who are the difference makers in the club? Because something's changed. Last season, we probably wouldn't have been having this sort of success. Brush, can you just summarise for us what are the difference makers with Manchester United Football Club right now, including the management and maybe the staff? I don't know. Where would you?
Yeah, I mean that's a multifaceted question, isn't it, Omondi? Because it's more than just.
That's why you're here. That's why you're here.
Because it's more than just on the pitch. Because obviously, yeah, the difference makers is, listen, it all starts with it on the training ground, doesn't it? So, big shout out to Ten Hag and all of the staff behind the scenes. On the pitch, for me, there's 3 players that are key for me that stand out. The linchpins now, the Casemiro, Licha, and Varane. That for me is the core.
Okay.
That's where everything's built from. And then on top of that, Marcus has been on absolute fire this year, and that's been a lovely bonus. And then everything else floats through, and just But that's the 3 for me.
What about, like we were just discussing that about being up? I feel comfortable now. When we go a goal up, or even against Newcastle in the second half, people said, "Oh, they dominated us in the second half." I thought, no, we're in complete control here. Even though they are sort of raiding or whatever, we're in a position where we've got good ring generalship in the boxing terms. So I think that's a difference maker for us as well. We're not panicking. We can take the heat when it comes to us. We can absorb,
and we can make effective changes as well. That's another key thing.
Great.
So when things aren't going right, it's not just us. The management sees the same thing that we're seeing. Because I've been kind of surprised at that, because when I'm watching with the guys and we're talking about who I'll take off and that, and I'm surprised actually seeing Ten Hag do it as well.
Big up to Donovan, because he's saying here regarding difference makers, he's saying De Gea difference maker, Casemiro as in Casemiro. I love that word. Martinez, Varane, like you said, and up front, Weghorst and Rashford. These are the difference makers for us. Attitude as well. Don't forget, guys. He's going to bed now, but big up, he's off. Don't forget to like and share, and merchandise is available. You've seen it. I didn't bring my cup. It's in the kitchen, but you've seen it. We've got our mugs available to us now. Make sure you go and purchase them. Top draw, honestly. And Rashford was so close to score as well as his HD Gamer. All right, next and final one before we go. We talk about player ratings. And we do midfield, goalkeeper, defense, midfield, and attack. And let's just go into it now. Obviously, the scores. 10 is outstanding. To get a 10,
I'll tell you what, Omondi. We'll streamline this. So you run me through the player ratings, and I'll see if I agree with them or not. How about that?
All right, I like to do them in units. So
okay, all right then.
Goalkeeper made a good few saves, especially the one against Antonio with his hand.
Yeah, we definitely would have been behind without Dave in goal today. So brilliant.
His distribution was poor, I felt. So I'm going to drop a point from him. So it goes from an 8 for those good saves to a 7 because his distribution wasn't great. Defensive unit, obviously had Maguire and Lindelof back in today. I'm giving them all a 6 because I just didn't think they were decisive. That goal when Antonio went through, supposed to have the insurance is supposed to be there.
They just didn't look comfortable, did they?
A little bit, yeah. But I'm not going to diss them. I'm saying a 6. But Malacia in the second half for me was like a 7 or 8. He was everywhere, and a couple of times when it was on a knife edge, he came in, took the ball sharp and pinched it off a couple of guys, and I like that. I think that changed my whole momentum of the game. So
absolutely, he's like a little pit bull, Malacia. The only thing, like the gentleman in the comments said, it's going forward. I do see what Shaw brings to the table, and if Malacia could add that to his game as well, then what a player we've got on our hands.
So defense-wise, I've given them a 6, but with Malacia sort of 7, 8. What do you think about the defense? You want to go with that?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is very much the B team, it's the backup choice. And it showed basically. What
about Sabitzer? And obviously, McTominay got dragged off first half. I thought McTominay done it well. I give him a 6. Sabitzer, I'm going to give him a 7. I think Sabitzer is unheralded a bit, and I think he likes it that way. He gets through games. Playing a simple thing, and sometimes you don't expect.
It goes a bit under the radar, doesn't it? What's a bit
bring the ball down, great movement, great work, but just simple things. People don't really recognise what he's doing so well. So for me, it's a 7. What's your feelings? I've never spoken to you about Sabitzer.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his. I like him. He used to be a wide man back in his Leipzig days, so I think that's why. Like, he's always looking to pass forward, and I like that about him.
Yeah. and his touch and control and keeping things simple, ticking over.
But the main thing, I mean, it's obvious to everyone. Casemiro is the key man there. So whoever out of Fred or Sabitzer you want to throw in there, as long as Cass is there, I'm happy with it.
Do you remember we had a player called Christian Eriksen once? Do you remember him?
just about. Listen,
it's amazing. We're not even thinking about him at the moment. But he's
great. And that that's testament to the boys out there and the job that they're doing. That we're not even talking about missing Eriksen. So that's going to be like a new signing coming back when he does come back. I think sometime in April, hopefully.
Yeah, late April. Tyron's saying, so glad we brought Sabitzer in. I hope we sign him permanently. Are you thinking like that as well?
It's too early to say in terms of that. I just want to wait till the summer, just because it's all up in the air with ownership and we don't know what kind of budget we're working with, and all of that stuff. So for the time being, we've got so much going on. I'd rather just concentrate on all the cups and all the things that we're doing positive right now, and we can talk about transfers in the summer.
So going forward, just to the players that played today, I think Bruno. Look, a lot of people give Bruno pelters. I've started to appreciate Bruno. I'm part of the Bruno appreciation.
The other thing as well, Mondi, that people need to realize: this guy is a machine.
Yes,
he plays every game.
I know.
He doesn't get a rest, So that's the other thing you need to take into consideration with Bruno.
He's like usually number 10s. Like people say he's soft. He goes down too easy.
Yeah,
this is smart. This is in-game smarts that I think he's got. But like you said, he's a machine. Work rate, getting behind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, late in the game today, crossing for the ball. He's getting up and down really well. He might not be the fastest or everything, but out of the talented sort of number 10 sort of guys, he's got effort. He puts in the effort as well, which makes him a better player than he would be if he's just like a stroller out there. So I really appreciate him as a player. He can't get lower than the 7 for me most games because of the effort he puts in and the desire. And listen to interviews from him as well recently. He's really sort of turned my head. I really like him as a player, and I really admire what I'm seeing now when I watch him. So he gets a 7. Garnacho gets a 7 as well. Finished the goal well, but before it weren't for the goal, I thought he could have been struggling a bit. Obviously, like we said, starting the game and trying to prove it. I want to say hi to CJ Do PS2. He says, hi, I'm Brazilian and a United fan. So hi, Brazilian. I hope it's going well out there, man. Big up. Thank you for supporting Man United. Thank you for tuning in, man. What do you think about the game? We're going for the game right now. Just tell us about your man in the match, because that will be coming soon. We've gone through the whole team. So CJ, man in the match, if you watched the game today, let us know who you think. Just going to go through a few more comments about Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, one of those players you'd hate if he played for your rival. Thank God we have him. Hardly injured and clearly loves the club. Michael Hill saying, every time Maguire, Lindelof and McTominay start, they show us why they don't play regularly. We drift back to Ollie days and half a mile an hour football. And Garnacho 8, Beckhorst 7, Anthony 6. I'll go with that, actually. That's pretty good. Not Garnacho. I think Garnacho gets a 7 from me. And a clap there. Hi to CJ. Yeah, thank you. Tyrone saying hi to CJ. So is Solo as well. Welcome to the Man United agenda. Press the subscribe button and press the alarm bell as well, so you can get great Man United content. We go every day, don't we, Brush? Anyway, so I said Bruno 7. Garnacho gets a 7 as well. Done pretty well. On Anthony gets a 6. I do agree with that. Wasn't outstanding today, and a few times she's forced.
I'll tell you what, though, on Anthony. Yeah. So this is something I noticed, right? And I'd like to see him add to his game. So a lot of people talk about the fact that he loves to cut inside. He doesn't go on the outside. So that's fine. I don't have an issue with him cutting on the inside, but I need him to start varying the shots. So as soon as he cuts inside, people expect him to take a shot at goal, right? Which is what he does most of the time. But what if he started floating balls into the box?
Yeah.
You could vary it. You could vary it, and I think it will catch defenders off as well if you started doing that, because there was a shot he took in the first half where there was bodies in the box, man. You could have just picked someone out. So maybe that's something that he could work on and add to his game.
I think he has to do his off the ball movement needs to be better. He gets the ball when he's hugging the touchline, and then people got time to square up to him and get a little backup, someone midfielder coming to support him as well. And then he can't really beat a man. I think what he needs to do is run onto balls. Start on the touchline and then come inside and invert his run, and then just to be a bit more direct and let someone feed him running onto the ball. I believe that's
and this is what I mean. Like eventually he'll have to start using that right foot of his as well. But in the meantime, if you are going to just concentrate on the one thing you're good at, add a bit of variety to what you're doing.
Yeah. Just to add, I've Weghorst as well. I'm going to give him a 7. I thought he done well. His hold-up play was quite clean, neat, tidy. There's a move where Harry Maguire broke the lines in the first half, played it into his Weghorst's feet. He just turned it around the corner. Defender was coming fast, trying to intercept the ball, popped it around the corner, and for someone to run onto. Lovely things like that. I think he contributes well. And obviously the final goal and the own goal as well. He was thereabouts, putting himself about. And I think that these are the contributions he's making, which need to be appreciated. Just go out the forward line and anything else you want to add, score lines, because you must disagree with me, surely.
No, not really. I think we summed it up perfectly, to be honest. With regards to Weghorst, I think he gives me flashbacks to the late years of Emil Heskey. Because he was one of those.
I want to hear this. Go on.
No, because he was one of those. Because a lot of people used to cuss Emil Heskey for not scoring enough. And he should have done, to be fair. But he used to offer a lot off the ball and just in general that other people didn't really notice or give him credit for. So
I see where you're going with that. Yeah, because a lot of strikers used to say, "I love playing with Heskey," because obviously he brings a lot of people in.
Yeah, because he allows the rest of them to just flourish and do what they do, an enabler.
Really good point. Sorry, just go through a couple of comments. Man of the match, Miguel saying Malacia, and I like that. I like what you're saying there. Donovan saying Maguire, McTominay should be sold at the end of the season. Want to say hi to across the pond. How you doing, man? Marcy saying Blonde Blommer, Nacho, Garnacho, and Fred's goal. Yes, we love it. We love it here. And Arsenal fans saying we only won 4-0, but we only won 4-0. We won 4-0. It's like playing 9 men Daichi. I think that's revenge, isn't it? They took 3 points recently, didn't they? And Michael Hill saying, I keep hoping they will look better so we get more money for them. Moyes was interested in them, not sure now. And Michael Owen was half the player without Heskey, says Donovan Williams. Man of the match, guys, please put your contender in there, or just name the man of the match. It's a difficult one for me. I'm going to say Malacia, because he played the whole game. Otherwise, Casemiro come on and played really well. Malacia, for me, it eventually gets man of the match. I thought he was underrated, not really considered, but he'd done so much good work. Brush, over to you.
Yeah, similar thoughts from me. Malacia and De Gea were the standouts for me. Casemiro, I thought, did a wonderful job. Had he played the whole game, I probably would have swayed more towards him. But yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it. I think Garnacho, he grew into the game a little bit. Obviously, the goal is what everyone will remember. But overall, performance-wise, I think, I'm quite happy to go with one of the other two.
So Donovan's saying De Gea, Emma's saying him, Malacia, man of the match. There's 19 in the comments. Give us a like button, press the like button for us, please. And let us know who you think was man of the match and think. Here's the next thing. Read it there. Form. Now, what we're talking about here is we beat Leicester last week. It was a tough week for us. We beat Barcelona at home, coming back from behind again at home like we did today. And then we won the cup final. And now we've won a game again in the FA Cup against West Ham. So going into the Premiership again against Liverpool this weekend, we're looking good, aren't we? We're probably the form team. Since those last defeats against Brighton and Brentford start of the season, we've really, I haven't calculated all the points, but I'm sure we must be up there with one of the most formed teams in the Premiership right now.
Absolutely.
Are we getting better and better and better? Is it the training? Is it the philosophy getting through to the players now? What do you think about our form? I mean, are you confident going into every game now, Brush?
Yeah. And the thing is, I think the key for me is I always said that defeats will come. But when defeats come, it's all about the manner in which you lose and how you respond to it. I'm at a point now where I don't even fear a loss because I don't think these guys will let their heads drop. They're just going to get back up and go again.
Wow. And
that's the key thing. Even when we concede now, I'm confident that we're going to get back into it. There's a real belief. I'm a big believer in building the right atmosphere in the dressing room and having the right characters. And I think that's something that we're working towards. And you can tell the passion that they're showing, the way they work and fight for each other. The fact that they even comment on each other's Twitter posts and stuff, I find it hilarious. And it's really good.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Form, guys. We're talking about form and as a club in general and how far we've come. Across the pond saying Garnacho and Casemiro were good again. So also saying Weghorst put the work in again. So appreciation there. Agree, Malacia, man of the match, Zoe Media House. No problem with form. It's about exhaustion. That's all. So a bit concerned. What do you think about that, Brush?
No, that's definitely a concern. I'll tell you what, especially looking at the fixture list, in April, we have 7 Premier League games.
What? Repeat that louder so everyone hears.
Seven Premier League games in April. And if we progress in the cups as well, then, you know, that's with Europa as well, it's 2-legged ties. So, yeah, that is a concern for me. But listen, we take it one game at a time.
Yeah, most certainly. So the form is good. We're looking good. Players are playing really well at the moment. And Rashford scoring goals. So what's the fear? Only go to Anfield on Sunday.
Listen, I don't fear that, Omondi. I'll tell you what, we owe them lot a slapping, you know.
Oh, good. Yeah, you tell them, bro.
honestly, the last couple of years, man, we've had some horrible results against them, and this is the perfect time to play them. And I'd love it. I'm gonna go with Kevin Keegan now. Gonna go with Kevin Keegan now. I'd love it if we beat them.
Yeah, you tell him. Point at the screen. I'll do it for you. I'd love it. Sabitzer and McTominay didn't work. Only negative. Says Zoe. It's minor. They haven't played together before. Michael Hill saying, when we have so many games, they train less. It's not as bad as you think. Response?
I mean, it's all about game management and rotation, isn't it? The only worry is when they do come thick and fast like that. 7 games in a month is unprecedented stuff, really. You know, injuries are what I'm scared of.
Yeah. We've been fortunate. It's only Ericsson, really. He's had a long-term injury. Emma's saying here, if we keep winning, then it's going to be great to play a lot of games. I'm not worried. And Donovan finally saying, bring them on. We must shut the cop end up. Yeah, massive game this weekend. Back to the league. Arsenal, congratulations. They've won today, so they're extending their lead in the Premiership. And we're going to wind it up now, Brush. Brush, I really do love having you on. We got this out of the way. We talked about the game. Anything I threw at you, you were able to sort of straight back and adjust and give me a great response. I appreciate that. And guys in the comments as well, big up to Brush. Everyone say big up to Brush for turning up and giving some great analysis and feedback.
Big up yourselves, guys, for being here, because without you guys, this would be nothing.
Most certainly. That is so true. So thank you again, guys. We're going to sign out. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed the game. Hope you're enjoying this form that we're in right now.
Absolutely. Bring on Fulham in the next round.
Let's go. We ain't afraid of no one. We're out now. We'll be back tomorrow. Obviously, we're here every day. So join in and subscribe to the Man United Agenda. But for now, from Brush and from myself, 3-1. We're in through to the next round. We're playing Fulham, and we're happy about that. See you later.
Take care, guys.